And the Rockets, who lost here at home against this Utah team, a team that has not played well at home this year. They lost 10 more games at home than they did all of last season. He took it with Karl Malone putting the pressure on him. Here's the guy that ignites the team, Kenny Smith. He got started fast in game 2, and the Rockets won it. Robert Horry to the hole, and that's the aggressiveness he showed in the first 2 games.
Yeah, he needs that. They need all the help they can get inside. They can't depend on Hakeem Olajuwon to do it all.
And Olajuwon in the last game played 45 minutes and just wore down. We'll watch him closely. John Stockton has not been shooting well. 7 of 23 in the last 2. Hornacek slashing, changing the shot. He did that in the last game, arching the ball over the defenders.
That's a learned skill, long time. Drexler, no matchup on the other end. Transition defense, not there.
You talk about a learned skill. There was another one. Clyde the Glide underneath, and in the open floor, he gives them some versatility.
Very interesting. They put Stockton in the pick and roll in the first play of the game, and significant.
Karl Malone is hammered as he goes inside. Malone was not satisfied with his play in game 1 and 2, but oh, did he step up in game 3.
And he's indicated they have not played their best basketballers yet, and I think they want to play that tonight to close out a series. We just saw the one in Boston. Even though Orlando, a huge favorite, to close out a team, particularly on the other guy's floor, is the most difficult thing in basketball.
Speaking of closing out, this is the only first-round series now that has not been closed out with that victory by Orlando. You know, this Utah team has struggled at the line. They led the NBA this year with 78%. One game they missed 11 shots and another 10.
Well, statistics lie sometimes in short series like this. You look at, guys that shot great percentages, either from the free throw line or from the field, and all of a sudden, in a short series, strange things happen.
Kenny Smith, who hit his first 6 shots in game 2, went on to hit 7 of 8 threes. And it comes to Olajuwon. He's had some monster games. Had a 45-point game in game 1, and James Donaldson commits the foul.
They got it on Donaldson. They came off the top, trying to help with they're talking about playing them straight up. They can't do that. They've got to come off and help. And that's the way the Rockets live. Getting double teams, swinging the ball out, playing that three-point line.
There's the numbers thus far through the first 3 games. And Olajuwon has not disappointed. 45 points in the first game is the most a Utah Jazz team had given up in the playoffs.
34 points is a huge effort, but he can't carry it himself. They're talking about he doesn't rebound like he used to. When you've got to do all the things you have to do, you've got to get some help on the backboard.
Well, he had anemia, and he's had problems with that. He had to get his blood count up, and he looked dead tired at the end of game 3. He didn't even jump at the end of the ball game. And there's Horry reaching in on Benoit. Now, Horry, in the first 2 games, came out aggressively. He was very laid back in game 3, but he's reestablished this in this game tonight. Stockton with a 3 from outside, and Olajuwon with a rebound. Averaging over 8 a game in the series. Or they respect the range of Smith. They extend the defense. Choke it to Olajuwon. 13 seconds on the shot clock, and Hakeem, who has the heart of a champion, he would respond tonight.
He will respond, and that's a great matchup for him, taking Donaldson on one-on-one.
And the Rockets have an 8-2 lead, a 22nd timeout by the Utah Jazz. And Rudy Tomjanovich has said, I like the way we play when we're backed into a corner. And they are in that corner. It's a cliche, but it's true. They are ready, it looks like, to play this one to the hill.
Well, last year they were in so many situations, 6 situations, you could have knocked them out, but they were able to respond. But they're not quite the same basketball team. Maxwell isn't here. Herrera's been hurt. Obviously, the trade made a difference in chemistry of their club. The balance is different. Cassell has not had the kind of year that he's had, that he did have last year, and he's going to have to step. They're going to have to get some help, but they're going to go to the Iron Man route. There's nothing to wait for tomorrow. They're going to play these people out, try to get it done tonight.
Hakeem Olajuwon showing his versatility, that face-up basket a moment ago.
If they can get that, Donaldson cannot play him. He can get that shot all night long if they want to isolate, particularly at the elbow.
Little pressure now as they come out and trap Stockton, but he reads it well.
Houston's trying to get him out of sync, and they're coming out with that little double team so that they can't run their patterns quite as easily.
Malone misses. Rebound Donaldson. The 37-year-old gets a jump ball. He and Olajuwon will go up.
Choka doing a good job. He helped make that play. Actually, he got both hands on the ball, and they end up with They've got Olajuwon jumping, which is a better matchup for the Rockets.
Donaldson at 7'2", Olajuwon, they list him at 7 foot, but he's more like 6'10 and a half. Out it comes to Hornacek. John Stockton led the NBA in assists for the 8th straight year. He's averaging 11.7 in the first three, just off his seasonal average of 12-3. Hornacek, that's a 2.
Drexler's up on him. He put that foot down, faced him up, and got Drexler to drop down defensively. Just went up over him.
So the timeout leads to a basket. 8-4 now. The Rockets with the early advantage. Here's Ori. Ori slashing inside. Donaldson stopped him nicely. Benoit brings it out to Stockton. Stockton, beautiful pass from Malone, and he draws a foul. That is the reason they talk about Stockton. Might be the best passer to ever play in the NBA.
Incredible. He has the numbers to prove it, but really looks to make all his guys better. He could have taken the shot, a lot of players, but he knows what Malone can do down there. Malone is either going to score the basket or get fouled, or both. He goes to the line.
Well, I thought Jerry Sloan said it very well. Says this guy just enjoys playing. He doesn't want any of the credit, but he wants to win, and he makes the rest of the team want to win. As Malone gets the first free throw, Jerry Sloan, both he and Rudy Tomjanovich were outstanding players in the NBA. This guy was in 2 All-Star games. Rudy T in 5 and #1 draft picks coming out of college.
Yeah, they both done a marvelous job. Jerry Sloan, year after year, just keeps his club in it, and one of the better coaches in the league. Longest tenure, maybe, of all coaches in the NBA. That says something there itself.
That's right. When Don Nelson resigned, he took over that mantle as that ball rejected out of bounds. Rockets will have it 13 seconds on the shot clock. 8-6 Houston, 9:01 to go. Game 4, first quarter. Here is Ori. Ori dumps it out to Olajuwon. Donaldson extends on him, reaches in, and Olajuwon follows his own shot. What effort. He brings it outside to Clyde Drexler, the 2 who combined at the University of Houston to go to 2 Final Four championship. Olajuwon, Kenny Smith with a 3. That could get him going.
We've seen some games this year where he's had some incredible games from that three-point line, and he's done it in this series.
7 of 8 in game 2, and he's the guy who sets the tone for this Houston team.
That's 14 for 18 in this series. How's that for three-point shooting?
And the record in a 5-game series is 17, held by Chuck Person. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hornacek changing the shot again. Drexler tries to keep it alive. Donaldson hustles out, still doesn't have it. Hornacek's got it, and that's going to be the story tonight. Who's going to get the loose ball?
A lot of emotion in this game. Both clubs playing really good defense. The difference will be who can sustain it.
Malone doesn't get the bounce. Drexler the rebound. Now Malone started slowly in game 1 and 2. Game 3, he came out and hit everything. Smith rejected goaltending on David Benoit.
And Kenny Smith, who's really stepping up. Earlier in the year, he was erratic, not getting enough playing time. Right now, he's getting big minutes and really making them count. He's averaging 22 points a game, only 10.4 in the regular season.
John Stockton now sets it up for Rockets with a 13-6 lead. Out it comes to Benoit. He had 14 points in the last game, tries the 3. Donaldson tips it over to Stockton. So Donaldson's been effective in there. He's making Hakeem work.
He's had about 3 big plays so far, and that's all they need from him.
Yeah, he only plays about 14 minutes a game, and then they'll come in with Antoine Carr and Tom Chambers. Here's Stockton trying to split the defenders. Donaldson is fouled. You know, prior to that shot, Chuck, he was 4 or 5 shooting in this series. He didn't take very many shots, but he's been pretty effective.
He was a little out of control going to the basket, but they fouled him and put him on the line. But Stockton making the play that he can make, dishing it off. It doesn't, you know what's interesting to me about John Stockton? A lot of point guards determine who they're going to go to with the ball. He gives it to the guy that's open, and it makes so much difference.
He sees the whole floor, doesn't he? Donaldson looks kind of awkward at 7'2" and left-handed. Mind you, Mark Eaton, the years that he would be up there, but he's a 71% free throw shooter.
Great pickup for him when they lost Spencer, and it really has made a difference for him down the stretch. They had an outstanding year on the road in particular.
Nope, Spencer, if you don't know, went down with a ruptured Achilles tendon January 13th in the Boston Garden. The Garden was closed tonight. 13-8, the Rockets with the early lead. The Rockets aren't going to go down easy tonight.
Well, there's Karl Malone coming out very aggressive defensively on Pete Chilcutt and commits a foul at the three-point line. Jerry Sloan can't be happy about that, but they are being very aggressive.
In it comes to Robert Horry. Tried to pass it to Chilcutt. It was kicked, so they reset the shot clock. Karl Malone missing some shots early, and for that matter, Utah is 2 of 7 in the early going for 29%. Houston 5 of 8.
Jerry Sloan, watching the defense of the Utah Jazz, they're saying, don't let him make easy passes into that post area. Here's a matchup they like.
Olajuwon trying to get Donaldson up, takes it to the hole. Oh, my.
If I was sitting on that bench, I'd be saying, I got to get this isolation every time I can, because he can't play him facing.
I tell you, Donaldson may be coming out of the ball game after that play. 15-8, Stockton with a 2. And Stockton, who has not been shooting well in the last 2 games, maybe that'll get him on track.
The Rockets need to solve that pick and roll because they're going to see enough of it with Stockton coming off, and he'll take what the defense gives him out of that pick and roll.
Here's Olajuwon. He's never made 2 moves the same in a game, I don't think. A variety of moves.
That's one of his patented moves, and not many people in the game can do that. Wheel, spin away, and then step away.
The guy who was the MVP in the NBA last year is 3 of 4 now for the field. A 3 by Benoit rattles out of there, and Houston will have it. Benoit plays well. Utah usually wins. He's had 2 double-figure games back-to-back. 14 points, 10 rebounds in game 3.
He's getting a lot of opportunities tonight. He's had 4 opportunities already. Either his man has lost them or has just come open.
Kenny Smith using the screen by Chilcutt. Here's Drexler at a 30-point game in game 2. Olajuwon follow away. He is 4 of 5, and as you expected, he's going to carry this team on his shoulders tonight.
If they can get it done defensively, and that's where they've got to work to keep the Jazz under some kind of control defensively.
Olajuwon with 10 points. Stockton is able to take it inside, and again, John Stockton, a guy who doesn't want a lot of credit for the success of this team, just kind of blends in. He's a chemistry guy.
He knows what he needs to do, and he's sensing they need a couple of field goals. There he took Kenny Smith baseline, and Kenny has to force him back into the defense.
Hornacek and Drexler really working hard against each other. Now Drexler comes out to get the ball. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Olajuwon with 3, and Malone rips it down. That's his first rebound of the night. Karl Malone had 19 rebounds in the last ball game. And away from the ball, Drexler and Hornacek tangled, and it's going to be on Drexler. The 2 of them are really going after each other off the ball.
Yeah, and it was not necessary because actually Hornacek was going away to screen. There's no reason to foul him on that kind of a play.
That's the second on Clyde, too, so he's going to have to come out of the ball game. And Mario Elie, who did not score in the last ball game, didn't play that many minutes, but we'll see a lot of playing time you would expect tonight, especially now with Drexler in foul trouble. Jamie Watson's also checked in. He's the rookie out of South Carolina. Malone backing in on Chilcutt. Here comes the double. Hornacek with a 3. Hornacek this year hit 11 straight 3s in the regular season, 8 in a ball game. And he is 3 of 4 tonight. 19-15 Houston. Smith ducks in, goes under Donaldson, gets the basket, and he gets the foul. Kenny Smith is so quick, so fast, goes in. He's 3 of 3 from the field tonight.
Here he gets to the basket, comes off that screen. What they're doing, they're clearing out the baseline, giving him the room. There's just coming off the screen, and they're clearing. See it right here. Finally they come. He ducks under and scores it.
Donaldson commits a foul. He's coming out of the ball game now, and Antoine Carr, who has been very effective for Utah, comes into the game. 22-15 Houston. This Utah team became road warriors. They've won 3 more games on the road than this Houston team has won at home. That's a remarkable stat when you figure Utah never had a winning road record in the entire history of the franchise. Carr leads it short. Benoit saves it, and Chilcutt comes up with it. Here's Mario Elie. Elie in trouble, and that's going to be an offensive foul. He had no place to go.
They're out of control on the break. On the opposite end, they're going to keep going to Carl, and they're going to play out of it. He's going to keep the ball, hold it, see if the double team comes. If it comes, he'll kick it out to the open man. If not, he's going to go to the basket and try to score.
That's the first turnover for either team thus far with 3:50 to go in the first quarter. Jamie Watson, the second round draft pick, backs in. He traveled with it.
Jerry Sloan wanted a post-up. He got it, but Watson watch.
Well, earlier, if you've just joined us, the Boston Garden officially closed. Orlando winning their first playoff series, 95-92. And now we'll meet the Chicago Bulls. Here is Olajuwon inside, tried to change the shot. Ellie tracks it down. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Ori with a three. Olajuwon sneaks around Carr and gets the basket.
Is he working or what?
Incredible beginning for the guy who last year won every conceivable honor in the NBA. 24-15, and Houston making an early statement here in game 4. Hornacek using the pick and roll. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it out of a hole to Benoit. Benoit floats in for 2.
Got it out of the double team, swung a weak side. They had the 2-on-1. David Benoit takes it to the basket, but he also had Malone underneath.
David Benoit this year had career highs in 12 offensive categories. He has really made a difference for this Utah team. 24-17, in it comes Olajuwon. Carr got a hand on it. Look at Malone go for it. Playoff basketball.
Kenny Smith coming off the screen was looking for choking, but he tried to force the ball in the lane.
Watson gets it into Malone, and he draws the foul. And now, making his first appearance in the playoffs is Karl Herrera. He has been out with a dislocated shoulder. We'll wait for his entry because we have a timeout. 24-17, Houston.
Well, Karl scrimmaged yesterday. He looked good. So Coach Rudy T said he feels much better about Karl playing tonight. The Rockets, of course, need him. Karl Malone put up 26 shots Wednesday, Gary.
Well, I tell you, this team, the Rockets, would not have won the World Championship without Herrera in the finals last year.
No, he played extremely well, and I thought when they made the trade of Drexler-Thorpe, then he was the guy who's going to step in, but he's been an injury plague.
Yeah.
He only played 61 games this year.
Not only was it his shoulder, he was out with a hamstring as well.
Too many injuries to be a significant player day in and day out, or game in and game out.
Olajuwon trying to shake loose inside from Antoine Carr. 2:19 to go in the first quarter. Olajuwon, little jump hook. As I said before, he's got all the shots, an ultimate go-to guy.
And they're pretty much playing him straight up, saying he's got to beat us, he's going to get 45, and we're not going to give up all those easy threes at the line.
He has 14 now. Hornacek got in trouble, tried to dump it to Carr. He tracks it down. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Benoit, a triple. And Benoit has really become a confident player.
When he can shoot that shot, it makes all the difference in the world, particularly from that range.
Benoit now with 5 points. 4-point lead for the Rockets. 1:41 left in the first quarter. Look at Olajuwon backing in. He gets it in low. And as he goes in, we're going to have a foul on Carr. Carr has a big body. He's 6'9", weighs about 265 pounds. And he has really made Olajuwon work.
Yeah, he has, and he's been significant to this club defensively, and I think that's one of the reasons why they're a better road team defensively. He gives you some outstanding defense on the box and can play people one-on-one.
A veteran they picked up as a free agent from the San Antonio Spurs. Kenny Smith to Ori. They dump it in to their meal ticket, and he takes over from there.
They're going to just ride it, and the Jazz are going to have to make a decision at some point or stay with it.
Wow, is he headed for a monster game? He's 7 of 10. Stockton has come back in, off to Malone. Malone not shooting well here in the early going. Ori with a rebound.
Houston really struggling with that pick and roll. Stockton, Hornacek are able to get in the lane every single time.
Karl Malone has missed all 3 of his shots. Herrera, his first effort, and that's got to give him some confidence.
That's got to help him. There was a lot of doubt in his mind, and I think in Rudy Tomjanovich, but they need Herrera if they're going to win this game.
The first Venezuelan native to ever play in the NBA. He played at the University of Houston. 43 seconds left in the quarter. Stockton back out to Malone. Malone needs to get one of these to go, and he does.
Finally gets one, and one of the things that's happened with Karl over the years, people fouled him so much inside, double teaming. He's really worked on his outside shot, and he is a very, very good shooter.
Well, he's worked on everything. Tremendous work ethic. Remember how bad a free throw shooter he was when he came to the league? Olajuwon inside.
Yeah,
18 points.
Yeah, Karl Malone, 74% for the year, 62% in the playoffs.
But remember the first year he shot in the 40s.
Yeah, reminds you of a guy like O'Neal almost, right?
Shaquille could use that for, I guess, some hope. Now we come to the last 10 seconds of the quarter. Stockton Into the corner to Malone. 2 seconds. 1. Benoit hits it as the shot clock expires. And ahead it comes, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. And Hakeem Olajuwon has determined that he is not going to go down without a fight. Rockets of the 32-27 lead. We were going to bring in a new graphic for tonight. This was by the request of Chuck Daly. We talk about what a dominating player Hakeem Olajuwon is. Everything goes through him.
Yeah, possessions. We wanted to talk about, I watched in the playoffs last year, he would catch it 40 times a game. So far, 19 possessions that they've had, 13 catches, team points, 20, most of them coming out of his hands.
So Hakeem had 13 catches in the 19 possessions by the Houston Rockets. And we'll keep updating that throughout the night because that will be huge before the night is over. 32-27, we start the second quarter of play in game 4. The Jazz up 2-1. Malone backing in on Herrera. Kicks it out to Benoit. He's hit a couple of threes from outside. Stockton moves in, changes the shot. He thought he was fouled. Drexler with the rebound. Denny Smith, who started well, ducks inside, changes off to the far side to Mario Ellie, and Jack Neese has spotted a foul as Smith ducked down the middle.
Clyde Drexler back in the game with 2 fouls. Hasn't been a factor as yet.
Well, speaking of 2 fouls, that's the second foul on Karl Malone. Drexler in the first game did not play very well. He had 8 points, came back with a 30-point performance. He's averaging 17 points in the series. He tries a 3.
Confidence of a great player. Nothing bothers. They come in cold. It does not matter. Scores are scores, and we'll find a way.
The 8-time All-Star for the Portland Trailblazers, coming over in the trade for Otis Thorpe, along with Tracy Murray. Stockton tries to lean inside, and Olajuwon got a piece of it. That's before the shot. Stockton thought he was going to go to the line. They'll take it out on the far side. That's the first foul on Hakeem. Pete Chilcock now will come back into the Houston lineup. And Olajuwon's going to get a break. Rudy not wanting his superstar to just use everything up early and get as tired as he did in game 3.
The interesting thing is to see what Rudy will do to try to score with him out of the lineup.
Here's Malone against Herrera. And Malone, after missing his first 3, now is heated up. He has 8 points. 35-29, the Rockets. The defending world champions on the brink of elimination. Drexler inside draws a foul. So when Drexler's come back now, he's asserted himself. You can see now, game 1, he really struggled. He was only 3 of 8 that night. But look at games 2 and 3, especially game 2. He had 30 points.
They, over the period of a series, a player of his caliber will find a way to get it done.
So the Rockets now enjoy an 8-point lead. Sam Cassell has checked in. He's not really been a factor in this series thus far. He's had an ankle he hurt when they went to their mini training camp in Galveston, Texas. Off to Blue Edwards, who's in the game, and he can't hang on. Here comes Drexler, so good in the open floor. And a foul on Jamie Watson, who challenged him, but you could see that one coming from the other end of the floor. Rudy T said the one thing he has really made us is a more wide-open team, and you could see it on that particular move.
Yeah, the interesting part is what's happened to the other people. Cassell averaging 3 points a game. I thought Cassell maybe was the most valuable player down the stretch and in the playoffs last year, particularly against New York. Maybe he has an injury, maybe it's psychological, but hasn't been as much of a factor.
He has scored a total of 9 points, and he averaged 9.5 in the regular season. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Tom Chambers in the ball game. Chilcock goes up and commits the foul. I was kidding him today. He was picked all CBA, and I said, what are you going to get? He says, I hope a plaque. I'm going to put it on the wall when I get home. One
of the terrific kids. I had him in New Jersey last year. Terrific player. Sometimes he can make things happen. Open floor, second shots.
Yard draws a foul, Mario Ellie. And we're going to have a break in the action. 9:53 to go in this first half.
Sometimes he'll do this. I watched it last year. He'll have a tight rotation for 3 or 4 games, and all of a sudden, he'll branch out and bring people that have played. Chucky Brown's playing. He's got Ellie in there. He's got Cassell. He's got a lot of bench people, and he's got a lead. Maybe that's the reason why.
Well, Hakeem set down with 11 minutes to go. His team is outscored him 6-4, and there's Chucky Brown and helping this ball club. 41-31. 9:39 left to go in this first half.
Yeah, Chucky Brown was an all-star with Yakima in the CBA and had a terrific year.
Yakima's Sun Kings, to be exact, and as we mentioned this week, they named the all-CBA team. He's only played 31 games there. He was on it. Chambers positioning himself inside. There's Brown to the rebound. He played at North Carolina State at 6'8".
He'll do the little things. Doesn't have a lot of skills, but he'll do little things to help you win.
Sam Cassell, he needs to get something going. Trying to take Stockton inside to Herrera. Tough catch. Up to Blue Edwards. To Stockton. Stockton to the trailing Hornacek. You know, Herrera's hurt his arm. Herrera is hurt. Hornacek misses the shot. Herrera cannot move. He's at center court in terrible pain. And, oh, man, you can hardly look at that. Oh.
The important thing is Rudy's got to get to his club and not let them emotionally disturb it. They're playing good basketball, and he has been somewhat of a factor, not that big a factor. He's got to make sure they settle down and continue to play the same way.
So Chucky Brown is one of those guys who's come off the bench. Drexler with another three. That's where he hit one earlier.
He went to the isolation on Edwards. Edwards took him inside, came back out, got the shot. Edwards limping also.
Drexler 3 of 3 behind the line. 44-33. Here's Hornacek, and Jeff Hornacek assists to John Stockton. 44-35. 8:20 to go in the first half. Mario Ellie dumps it into Olajuwon, who went out at the 11-minute mark. Has come back now at 8:13. Cassell missing. Rebound by Chambers. Cassell went into a sophomore slump this year and then really rallied after the All-Star break, but struggling here in this series. 7:59 to go in the first half. Stockton to pick and roll. Malone gets Olajuwon up in the air and then draws the foul. He had 3 bodies coming after him on that play. Lisa Miloski, what's your update on Carl Herrera?
Well, let me tell you guys, Carl Herrera was writhing in pain outside the locker room, but Rockets trainer Ray Melchiori told me it popped right back in once they got inside the training room. They doubt very much he will play again tonight. Gary?
Thank you, Lisa. That ball deflected out of bounds. 17 seconds. You can get it back in. The problem is it comes back out very easily. 44-37. Rudy T's team has faced elimination 6 times the last 2 years and have won 5 of those. And now Stockton and Cassell kind of pushing and shoving. Dick Pavetta over there to separate the 2 of them. Hakeem in the regular season this year had a huge game of 47 points, had 45 in the first game of the series. His career high is 52 points, and Olajuwon already with 20 here tonight. 46-37 to the cutting, slashing Benoit. Hakeem had 5 blocks in the last game, blocked that one. And the Rockets come out of there with it. Cassell, Ellie, and the crowd erupts.
Brown coming up with that loose ball.
Timeout, Utah, and the Rockets want to take this one back to Salt Lake City for a game 5. I tell you, Houston's not taking tonight off. They're shooting 72%. They're 3 of 5 from three-point land. Stockton inside. John Stockton has stepped it up. He has 6 points in the ball game. 48-39. Inside 7 to go in this first half. Look at Malone jump out. There's Drexler. Hornacek extending the defense on him. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Hakeem, the double team coming, doesn't bother him. He's focused.
He having his own way, getting any shot he wants.
22 for Hakeem. He's 9 of 12 from the field. 50-39 Houston. And Stockton now drawing the foul as Sam Cassell trying to track him as he went inside.
That time Olajuwon gave him a good hedge. Cassell didn't need to foul him. He had him under control.
Chuck would remind everybody at the end of the game we'll be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. 6:30 to go in game 4. Utah trying to end it here. They'd like to open up in Salt Lake City Sunday against the Phoenix Suns. And you know that Houston wants to go to a game 5. That likewise would be in Salt Lake City as Stockton misses the free throw.
Stockton an 80% shooter on the regular season, 77 in the playoff. Rarely do you see him miss one of those.
Well, they've been shooting as a team 70% of the series after shooting 78 in the regular season. 10-point lead for Houston. Sam Cassell Going inside, using his body, got the basket. He'll go to the line. Boy, he protected the ball well there.
You know, this little fight he's having with Stockton, this little challenge may have gotten him off a little bit, because this is some play. He took it right to the big guys. All kinds of contact, was able to get it down.
Antoine Carr picked up the foul. His second. Cassell hits a free throw. As we mentioned, he'd scored only 9 points in the first 3 games. And tonight he has responded, playing better than he has the entire series. He has 3, but doing a lot of the little things as well. And Chucky Brown comes out and makes contact with Karl Malone and commits a foul. (53-41). Malone having one of those years as good as he's ever had. Amazingly, his 8th straight year to average over 20 points and 10 rebounds.
This guy takes good care of himself. He's one of those guys who's a dedicated athlete, works on his game all year round, always ready to play, and it tells the number of games that he plays throughout the year.
Yeah, he and Stockton, both of them, have missed only 4 games each in their entire careers, which I find amazing.
You're right, and they are calling this game very, very tight.
And Carr has picked up his 3rd foul. Here's what we were talking about. That's really incredible to think with those guys. What a partnership they've had, and to think between them they missed a total of 8 games.
It's absolutely amazing to miss that few, that amount of games.
That's the first miss from the free throw line for the Houston Rockets. They were 10 of 10. As Donaldson now comes in, Carr has to sit down after his 3rd foul. Olajuwon gets the second one. 54-42. Cassell now with some token pressure. He is meeting the challenge of Stockton. They've really been going after each other. Stockton hung up in the air. The ball gets away. He had no place to go.
Cassell again staying in front. He was getting to the basket pretty easily against Kenny Smith. So Rudy Tomjanovich says, I'll bring Cassell and see what kind of game he's got tonight.
Well, he's got a good game tonight. Olajuwon now facing the basket. Look at that move. Was that pretty?
That was beautiful. He split both people. It wasn't he just beat one guy. He beat 2.
Little ballet type move. 56-42. Olajuwon now with 25 points. And the Houston fans are excited. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Malone and Chucky Brown had a hand in the face.
Solid defense. Don't put him on the line. Make him take tough shots.
Ellie looked like he might take a crack at a 3. Brings it out to Cassell. Inside 5 minutes to go in this first half. And we're going to have an illegal defense.
Yeah, he's coming from the weak side of the floor.
That's the first, a warning, so they'll take it out. Jerry Sloan now is going to get John Crotty into the ball game. Crotty did not play in the last game, but he has been ready to go each time. He's been a valuable component to this Utah team.
He's the guy that normally comes in for Stockton. They've gone away from it, but they're back to their rhythm again, getting him in the game. He'll work hard defensively.
Cassell trying to take Crotty inside. Looking for the high pick from Olajuwon. To Hakeem. You know, you have those shot charts where you show where people hit the shot. Can you imagine what his shot chart is in this first half?
Incredible.
Everywhere. And we have a timeout. And Utah right now doesn't like the way this one's going. 27 points. You know, the playoff record for a half, Sleepy Floyd had a 39-point half. 58-42. Hornacek, kind of a mini jump hook. Rebound by Ellie. Houston in this ball game now, shooting 76% for the field.
The one thing you know that probably won't hold up.
I would think. Cassell missing. Out it comes. It's going to be off the Rockets. And now Stockton comes in, and Adam Keefe, who did not play in the last game, will come in. He played extremely well in game 1 with 11 points in that game. Their bench outscored the Houston bench 37-9. In this quarter, Chuck, Houston is 8 of 10 for the field.
Mostly a key.
Yes. 58-42. Stockton to that pick and roll again. Off to Benoit. He's looking for his third three of the night. Stockton to the rebound. Up to Malone. Malone will bring it out.
There they go to the pick and roll again.
Yep. Nothing secretive about it. They just do it to perfection. They're so efficient. Here's to Stockton. Now, he may have had a shot there, but he saw Hakeem coming. Got it out to Malone.
Kicks it out. This is a very veteran club, the Utah Jazz. They'll hang around. They don't panic. They'll continue to work. Now they're going to start coming on Hakeem. I guarantee you more than one guy's going to play him.
I would think with 27 points, he's just wearing them out. He's 11 of 15 from the field. 58-44. One thing about, you talk about the Jazz being a veteran club, they have 6 guys over 30 years of age. A lot of people feel that window of opportunity closing. They need to get it done this year.
Yeah, most people feel that Stockton and Malone can't continue to play long minutes, hard games, and not be injured more than they are.
58-46, 2:54 left in the first half. The double on Drexler. Ellie, and as he goes in, they get a piece of it. Tell you, Boston played him tough.
I was surprised after the opening game, losing by 47. You wouldn't think they had much chance, but they win a game in Orlando and then have shots to win both that game. That doesn't bode well for Orlando. Orlando's got to play better than that because the competition moves up a notch in the next round.
Well, you were quoted as saying you think the maturity of Orlando is a factor as they continue into the playoffs.
There's no question about great talent, but they're going to have to overcome some things, particularly the maturity factor.
And there's Cassell, I should say Ellie, picking up the foul as he reaches in. He's very upset at himself. They're over the limit. They'll go to the free throw line.
One of the things that's happened over the last 7 minutes, both teams are in the penalty, and clubs are committing fouls out on the floor unnecessarily, too far out, reaching, grabbing, holding, and putting each club on the line.
Rudy T has his team responding tonight, and these numbers we're going to show you will indicate what they're doing. 71%. 71.
They're going to need to continue to shoot that, but they're going to close down on a team. I sense that they're going to have to come and double, which will open the game up a little bit and make someone else try to beat them. Let's see.
Boy, this team scored only 82 points in Game 3. They're already at 60 right now. Drexler, he got Hornacek kind of hung up, and Hornacek hurt himself a little bit.
What they're doing here is giving Hakeem a little bit of a rest offensively and going to Drexler on a one-on-one, and he's paid off in the last 2 possessions.
Yes, he has. Drexler now with 14. Stockton trying to answer. And the rebound pulled down by Chucky Brown. Stockton, for the ball game now, is 4 of 7. And it comes to Olajuwon. Malone tries to body him out. The ball deflected. It's going to be off of Hakeem. Utah will get it with 1:59 left in the first half.
Yeah, rolled up. Jackie Niso right on the play and rolled off of Hakeem's hand. A great block by Karl Malone.
Here's Malone against Hakeem, and Hakeem reaches in and commits his second foul. So Rudy T's got to think about getting him out of here now with 1:50 left in the first half.
That's a real tough foul, and you're right. He's got to consider it. He can't afford to pick up a 3, although Hakeem, one of the great players that's staying in the game with foul problems. It's not serious, but you don't want the third.
Excuse me, Chuck. Bill Berry telling Rudy T now that he has 2. And Rudy doesn't look like he's going to make a move. Malone at the line. Malone with 14 points. 3 of 7 for the field, and now 8 of 11 from the free throw line. The Jazz's all-time leading scorer. He was a player of the month in the NBA for the month of April. He gets the split, and it's now 62-49 Houston.
We're going to ride this again.
Into Drexler. Drexler kicks it out. Kenny Smith. That's a 3.
Got it. Chucky Brown make a great pass. Drexler slipped behind. He lobbed it across. Drexler didn't feel like he had a shot. Kicks it out to Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith have another one of those nights. He's 4 of 4 inside Stockton, and Stockton made him pay at the other end.
Runs a great shuffle cut. Set his man up. Got wide open. No way he should be open on that play on the shuffle cut.
65-51. Ellie slashes inside, challenges, reverses, and draws the foul. Ellie has got that toughness. It really helps this Houston team.
Yeah, he came here with that, and I think he struggled with it some of the year. I think they got so off balance with the Drexler trade because the tentacles of it involved in the club. This guy didn't get quite as minutes. This guy got different minutes, and they got upset, and the chemistry changed a little bit. The trade was all right. It's just the chemistry and the internal problems that developed.
You have to redistribute things as Drexler sits down. Ori is coming to the ball game. Mario Ellis had a very good shooting year for the line, 84%. He came over a year ago from the Portland Trail Blazers. And Hakeem is down. They don't want to get that third foul.
Yeah, they've got 1:14 to go. They'll take no chances on picking on the third foul on either one of them to make sure they're ready to close out this game.
Pressure now by Kenny Smith. 1:05 left in the first half. Utah trying to end it here. The Rockets trying to keep their defense of the World Championship alive as Malone over the back. Going to go to the Houston Rockets.
Charlie Jones is a solid defensive player, and that's all you want to do is not let him get to the basket, make him fade away, take that jumper. You'll take that percentage.
Charles Jones, you just mentioned, he has not taken a shot in the series, played 28+ minutes. He's in there for defense and rebound.
Quite a lineage there, the Caldwell Jones.
Will Jones, Major Jones.
Yeah, they're all.
Kenny Smith backing out with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rebound. Look at Benoit fly through the air. That's 3 rebounds for Benoit. 34 seconds left in the half. Stockton has it batted away. It's going to be off of Stockton.
Stockton was looking to get in the lane and maybe draw a foul there. Lost control of the ball, which, again, you'll rarely see.
So Houston with a very good beginning here in game number 4. A team that did not play well at home this year. They lost 5 in a row in the last part of March and the first part of April.
They're kind of fortunate. They've got this 16-point lead, short clock, and they're able to get Hakeem a little bit more rest going into the half.
In the last game, he played all but 3 minutes, and it took its toll. Kenny Smith tried to, on the pick and roll, getting into Brown, intercepted by Malone. 7 seconds. Hornacek with 4. Malone, wide open shot. Not there, and Benoit follows. He is an exciting guy, isn't he? As we come to the end of this first half of play. So Utah trailing 67-53. Hakeem Olajuwon with numbers, well, that just prove again he's as good as there is in the game. A preeminent player. 27 points, 11 of 15 from the field. Coming up at halftime, Ernie Johnson and Dick Motta, the Reebok Halftime Report. Stay with us.
What Utah has to hope for, look at these possessions. Rocket possessions 38, Olajuwon catches 20, team points off of catches 30. I'd keep getting it in his hands. Let's see what they do to open, although the Jazz have it to open the second half.
Let's go down to Lisa Milosky. Lisa?
Well, I talked to both coaches at halftime. Utah coach Jerry Sloan said Hakeem is on fire. They are pushing the ball up on us, so we must make sure to get back defensively. Be more patient offensively. He said this is almost a repeat of game 2. Rockets coach Rudy Tomjanovich says we can't lose our intensity. We're playing even better offensively tonight than we did in Salt Lake City. Gary?
All right, Lisa Malone, this is the first shot of the second half to document Olajuwon. 11 of 15 in the first half, 27 points. Drexler had a big first half, 14 points, 4 or 5 for the field.
That was a big possession defensively there. They boxed out. Malone misses the shot. They had 2 guys in position, and they knock it out of bounds, giving Utah another possibility coming out of the half.
John Stockton had 6 assists in the first half. High pick and roll, takes it down the middle, got the roll.
There's no way he should be getting all the way to the basket. Somebody's got to step in from the weak side, or somebody's got to step up. This will prove to be the undoing of the Houston Rockets if they don't do a better job of solving this.
You look at the starting lineups, the same 5 that opened the ball game as Ori is fouled, ducking down the middle. Ori hurt his hand. You know, he hurt his elbow in the last game. The thing that's really concerned him all year long is the back problems he's had. As long as it stays away from that back area, they'll be all right.
You know, I've watched him over the years since he's been in the league. He gets a lot of nicks. He always seems to be in pain. Almost every game it's something where he gets hit. Here he's going to the basket hard. He does take it hard, and he gets slapped on the wrist, and both Hornacek and Stockton get him.
They're going to give the foul to Jeff Hornacek. You know, in this first half, to show you how effective this Houston team has been shooting the ball, there were only 4 defensive rebounds by Utah. There were no misses to go up again.
Our friend Dennis Rodman would be highly upset. Yeah. That would really affect your rebounding stats.
This isn't his kind of game. Ori now at the line. He has 3 points. Ori coming in here is average over 14 a game. He had a high of 21 in game 2.
Yeah, Ori in the first half only played 13 minutes. They went to the bench, and the bench did a good job of supporting the starters.
They were able to give Olajuwon 3 valuable minutes off of the first half. Stockton hung up again, gets it out to Benoit. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Took it, trying to stay on Malone. Skip pass. Stockton.
Malone
Stockton is now 7 of 10 from the field.
Malone, Stockton, Malone. And Stockton's going to keep penetrating. And Drexler answers with a 3. But Stockton's going to keep penetrating, either dump off or look for the kick out at the 3-point line.
Drexler's 5 of 6 and 3 of 3 behind the line. 72-57 and an illegal defense. That will be the first. And so they'll have the warning and take it out on the side. So maybe you're having your answer here. It looks like Houston's going to continue at the pace. They've started very effectively here in the third quarter.
They really have, and they're doing a pretty good job defensively. And now the clock is a factor. They want to keep matching points.
Hornacek inside was trying to set a screen, and he was just drilled out of there. See if they're going to call the foul on. It's going to be on Chilcott, and that's his 4th. Boy, he's been in foul trouble. Well, we're going to continue our coverage of the NBA playoffs. Game 2. How about those Lakers? They ended Seattle's season. San Antonio led by the man who played for you in Detroit. Best record in the NBA, and they swept Denver.
And the Lakers are a surprise club all year long, but they're for real.
And our partners in the playoffs, NBC, will have game number 1 on Saturday. Here's Stockton, and the ball deflected out. It's going to go to Houston. That is turnover number 4. Both teams now with 4. 72-57, Houston. Pass trying to go inside, and we have a kick ball. They'll reset the shot clock to 24.
Well, Chucky Brown's the feeder, and I'm not sure that they're going to continue to play him that far on the floor. He's not looking the shot, although he can make a 3 on occasion. But they're backing off now.
Drexler's feeling it. He is feeling it.
Well, between he and Olajuwon, and this gives Olajuwon a chance to rest offensively and defensively as long as Drexler can keep it going. They don't have to keep going to Olajuwon.
Biggest lead of the ball game now for the Rockets. Drexler with 19. Hornacek floating, missed it. Drexler, here he comes. This is where he's fun to watch, but he's fouled by Hornacek up the floor. But when Hornacek saw Drexler get that beat on the basket, he knew they were in trouble.
And Chucky Brown out in front here. Here's Hornacek going.
Ball down to Houston.
Here's Drexler. He's one of the best in the game at coming out of there. So he grabs him and makes sure that, because what you couldn't see on the screen, Chucky Brown was out there for a layup.
Brown dumps it in now to Drexler. Here's Olajuwon, brings it out quickly. And Drexler's fouled again by Hornacek, trying to reach in and stop him. And that'll be the 3rd on Hornacek.
Yeah, and on that play, Donaldson was illegal. He dropped down. He didn't get caught by the official.
Oriole inbound. This Houston team has kept up the pressure. They've been relentless in this ball game. Hornacek with 3 fouls in 3 minutes. Almost thrown away. Olajuwon had that ball deflected, and what are we going to have here?
Kind of a late whistle, but a good one. He did hack him on the wrist and call him to fumble the ball.
It's going to be Hornacek again.
Going left. Hornacek reaches in, slaps it out of his hand. Almost went awry with no call. Dick Bavetta coming out of the corner, making a great call.
Well, Hornacek will sit down. Now, what they do, Chuck, is they bring in Jamie Watson. It's 6'6". He can defend Drexler maybe in a better situation.
Yeah, he's got the size to do it. We'll find out. Drexler, a pretty knowledgeable player, knows how to take advantage of his own skills.
2nd round draft pick, the 47th pick this year in the draft, Jamie Watson. Olajuwon now with 29 points, 76-57 Houston. Game 4, Utah Up 2-1. If there's a game 5, it's Sunday in Salt Lake City. That ball thrown away. Nope, they're going to give it back to Utah.
Donaldson making the cut, didn't quite expect it. Fortunate to get it back.
The Jazz this year had 60 wins. That was a franchise record. They won 15 in a row on the road. That was one short of the NBA record. Malone has really been leaving those shots short tonight. As Drexler, as he moves up the floor, hits the deck, and we have a foul against Utah. It's going to be on John Stockton. Houston's got this game going the way they want to. They are in complete command.
They really do. They've done everything right. They're playing good, solid defense. They're executing and getting to the foul line.
There's some mental toughness about this team. And remember your Pistons team. They had the same thing. There's something about you just screw it down a little tighter, I guess, when you get into these kind of circumstances.
Well, they've got you've got to have very competitive people with pride, and they have that. They've just been a little disconcerted all year. Whether they can crawl out of this hole all the way remains to be seen, because if it does go to a 5th game, winning the 5th game or the last game of series in the other guy's building is about as difficult as it gets in basketball.
9-0 run now by the Rockets. They lead at 78-57. Here's Antoine Carr. He'll take Hakeem inside and draw the foul. Antoine has been so effective. He's done the little things. He's played the good defense. He's hit the boards. He's contributed scoring-wise. Olajuwon with his 3rd foul.
Yeah, I'm sure Rudy's not happy with that. He would rather he didn't foul. In fact, Hakeem's not sure he did foul, but the official called it that way, and he's on the line.
You see Carr with those special glasses this year. He suffered 6 cuts around his eye, so he has to wear these special glasses. Has a lot of problems with direct sunlight. And he's going to have to wear that not only while he plays basketball, but the rest of his life. 78-59. I was kidding him. I said, if you're going to wear them, you've got the most stylish looking ones I've ever seen. Here's Drexler. Up to Smith. He looked at a 3. Outside to Ori. That's a 3. Benoit with a rebound.
All of a sudden, we're seeing Olajuwon not touching the ball.
Benoit goes inside, challenging Olajuwon, and do they get an offensive foul? They're going to score the basket. Boy, that was an anxious moment, because Olajuwon could have had his 4th foul here.
Yeah, here's the play. Olajuwon backed off. He wanted no part of it. He wanted to make sure he didn't foul. Dick Benoit, a good piece of officiating, by the way.
So the basket counts at 78-61. No whistle is what it amounts to, an inadvertent whistle as bodies flying. Drexler, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Into Hakeem. Carr, the big body, and that produces a turnover. Ori high above, and boy, I tell you, I'm amazed, Chuck, the guys don't get hurt more often. Going out of the playing floor, over the chairs, into the playing area, and into the fans.
He actually vaulted the front row. Watch this. He vaulted the front row, had enough sense to get both feet up and over.
Shows the athleticism, doesn't it? And now an illegal defense, and that will be a technical. They'll be shooting a free throw.
There's a lull in this game for the Rockets, and they're going to have to be careful right here. The Jazz have picked up their defense. They're not giving easy shots. They went away from Olajuwon for a long time, about 5 minutes. They went back to him there, and he couldn't get off a shot.
Benoit missing the free throw. I'm always surprised. It seems so simple. I mean, why would you quit going to the guy who had 27 points in the first half?
Well, they went to Drexler, and Drexler performed early, but they've decided to go away from Olajuwon. It'll be interesting to see if he can recapture the kind of magic he had in the first half.
Recapture is a good word as Carr backs in now against Hakeem. Benoit high, the putback. He has 6 rebounds, and he has a big putback there.
Got to put a body on him. You can't let him get there. And Rudy Tomjanovich senses the same thing I do. Let's get a timeout, he says.
Well, and Houston has not scored now for a minute and a half. And Olajuwon has not taken a shot in this quarter.
He's had 2 catches. The one they did a good job. He forced it out. They've got to do something to open up. But Carr has the body and the ability to defend him and give him more problems.
6:58 left in the third. Drexler. Pick and roll now to Chucky Brown. Brown will try the face-up jumper. Benoit goes up, fights for it, comes down to the defensive board.
They tried to go to Olajuwon that time. They took it away, swung it back to the weak side. And Chucky is not the guy you want taking the outside shot. You want him coming to the weak side board. He's so good offensively on the backboard.
Boy, they've tightened it down on Olajuwon, haven't they? Here's Watson. Outside it comes to Benoit. He was waiting out a three-point land, moves in and drills one. That's 16. That's a high for him in this series.
Yeah, gradually edging back in this game, and they're not playing with quite the same emotion, and Carr's defensive ability is causing problems.
I think it's wearing Hakeem down, but Hakeem got it anyway. About the time you think you've got this guy stopped, he makes you pay.
The one thing that they were doing earlier, he was facing more rather than on the box. Here he's got on the box, comes a little bit higher, and when he gets wheeling like this, he can make something happen.
33 points for Hakeem, who comes in to tonight in the previous 3 games averaging 34, and he's at that now. 81-65. Stockton into Antoine. The double on Antoine. Jamie Watson not able to get it. Rebound by Drexler. Drexler's played a strong game. 5 rebounds in this ball game to go with 19 points.
Drexler averaging 6 rebounds a game regular season, 4-7. One of those great guard rebounders.
And he just drilled another one from behind the line. A long 3. And Drexler has not missed from three-point land. He is 4-4. So, after that timeout, Houston righted the ship, didn't they?
Now they're going to try to go back to Malone.
Into Karl. Karl was in deep, and Chucky Brown had no chance. Let's go back to this last long 3 by Clyde Drexler.
This is long range. This is the old 3-point line. Look at that rotation.
Clyde Drexler during the regular season shot 36% from three-point land, and this is a team now that's zeroed in again on the 3s. They've had 6 tonight. They had 7 in the last game and an NBA career high of 19 in game 2. And there's Drexler with another rebound.
Got hit in the left eye on that play, though.
84-65 Houston. Look at Olajuwon. He's so smooth. Out to Drexler again. This one not there. Rebound by Chucky Brown. Boy, he's contributed, hasn't he?
He is so active on the offensive board.
5 rebounds for Brown. He started the season in Yakima. And now in the NBA playoffs. There's a steal by Stockton. Drexler's going to challenge. Nope, he lays off, and Stockton takes it to the hole. Sorry. You got to know that Drexler's always coming after you, though. He's so good at blocking shots like that.
They're making it very difficult for Olajuwon to catch the ball because Carr's being so physical. And when he does catch it, they're going to a double team, and they're going to make somebody else beat him.
4:24 to go in the third. Hakeem backing in, and a little pirouette move, and he's inside. I don't know if he traveled or not, but if he did, he got away with it.
Jerry Sloan is giving the signal that he definitely traveled. But if he faces, he can give Carr more trouble than with his back to the basket.
36 points for Olajuwon. 4:03 to go in the third. Stockton down the middle, and he is hammered as he ducks inside. Let's go back to this move and see if he did travel with it.
We got blocked out. Okay. I like it.
I do too.
I like it.
Well, you know, in game 2 in Salt Lake, he did travel with it, and John Stockton got a technical arguing the call. This time, I think it was legit, don't you? And it comes to Malone. They got it in low. That's one of the few times they've gotten it behind the defense, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. And is it Olajuwon? If it is, it's his 4th. And it is. It's his 4th foul.
See, that's one of the mistakes. If you're going to front him, Chucky fronts him, he catches the ball there. You cannot stop Karl Malone because of his strength. And then to pick up a foul by Olajuwon, and now with 3:49 to go in the third, he's walking to the bench, and this is significant.
Very, very significant.
David Benoit, 7 rebounds. No other Jazz with more than 2 rebounds.
He had 10 rebounds the last game. Benoit did, a playoff high for him. Malone with 17, now 18 points, has a three-point play, but more importantly, he's able to draw the fourth foul on Olajuwon, who goes out now at the 3:45 mark of the third.
They're going to have to ride Drexler offensively now.
And Drexler is equal to it.
They're coming on a double team. Stockton is coming, but it's too late. Drexler going baseline, using glass. A very tough shot.
So the two guys who were part of that Phi Slamma Jamma group at Houston carrying the load tonight. Drexler 24, Olajuwon with 36. Two guys reunited here after playing in college. That ball thrown away, and it'll go to Houston.
Wisely, Stockton decided not to jump over the first row. He knows his athletic ability.
Plus, he saw you sitting here and all that high-priced help. He didn't want to have any kind of problems hurting you. 88-70. Drexler draws a foul. He hits hard on the floor, but he'd be all right.
Utah foul number 55, Antoine Carter. That's his fourth personal foul.
Let's take a look now at tonight's Chevy scoreboard. Going back to the East, Orlando closing out the series with Boston winning their first series ever. And now they get ready for a guy by the name of Michael Jordan. Drexler hits a free throw, and Ryan Russell's going to come into the game. Now, we've seen very little of Russell. He is a second-year man out of Long Beach State, 6'7", as Antoine Carr and Jamie Watson leave the ball game. So Drexler scored 4 points now since Olajuwon went out.
They're going to ride him. They're going to go to that low post and let him make something happen.
He has had 24 points in the last 20 minutes. That's Drexler. And we got a foul away from the ball.
Houston foul 27, Charles Jones. He's first.
It's going to go on Charles Jones.
Well, he just grabbed him. They're coming across, setting a guard screen, and he just makes contact, puts him on the line. They need to run more clock. If you're going to put him on the line, run some clock when you got a 20-point lead.
Well, Karl Malone, he's been at the line this year a lot. He is one of the best in the NBA to get there. He gets a first. Could see this. Top 5 in scoring each of the last 8 years. Played in the last 300 regular season games. We mentioned he's missed only 4 his entire career.
I was looking today, he played 3,126 minutes. To give you an idea, Olajuwon has only played 28:53. That's some stud minutes.
That surprises you. Most people would have thought it was the other way.
Exactly.
12 of 15 now is Malone for the free throw line. 90-72, Drexler again. Rebound, and Brown will get a loose ball foul. He shoved to get the position for the ball. So Chucky Brown with a personal foul. That'll be the third, and we have a timeout called by Utah. 2:47 to go. The Rockets still on top. Malone at the line. Malone has 20 points in the ball game. 12 of 15 from the stripe. 90-73.
I think the interesting part will when Rudy decides to bring Olajuwon back, because once he gets his fifth, then he has to sit out till they get in real deep trouble. So I think he'll try to ride him through the early part of the quarter, maybe at about the 9 or 10 minute, 8 or 9 minute mark maybe, and then try to get him back in the game if things continue to go well.
Well, he was headed for a monster night. He's had a good one anyway, but the foul difficulty's got him shelved right now. Kenny Smith, and we're going to have a foul as he tried to get it off to the wing area. It's going to be on John Stockton. Stockton with his fourth.
And this really helps Houston Rockets when they can continually get to the foul line when they're in a little bit of a tough situation scoring-wise, and they really have only one big threat on the floor offensively.
John Crotty's going to come into the ball game replacing Stockton. Smith rattles it in. Kenny Smith this year shot 85% from the line. That was 17th in the league. So Stockton down with 4, Olajuwon down with 4.
In reality, they've got Jones and Brown in there who are not offensive people. Smith he's kind of a predisposed point guard where he gets it from staying around the three-point line, not creative.
Okay, Houston's missed only 1 free throw tonight. They're 26 of 27.
Concentration, big games, concentrate more.
Weak side, they try to get the pass to Brian Russell, or he comes up with it. So Utah realizing they need to pick up some ground with Hakeem on the bench. Still down 92-74 as we approach 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Drexler, and we're going to have a hand-checking foul on Brian Russell.
Drexler's one of those veteran guys that when he catches the ball on the wing, he's going to try to get to the free throw line. He knows what's happening in the penalty, and he knows how he can keep this game alive offensively, even though they have a lot of offensive people in there.
He is glad to be back to his hometown of Houston. He went to high school here in the area, and of course the University of Houston. He got his wish. He got traded here. A guy who's been in 2 NBA finals in 90 and 92. 8 times an All-Star. And Drexler misses the free throw and gets his own rebound. Kenny Smith, a 3. And Malone comes down to the rebound. Only his 2nd rebound tonight. John Crotty giving Stockton a breather, who's on the bench with 4. Russell flies to the hole, the follow, and we're going to have a goaltending call. Give the basket to Russell.
That quick 3, and you got to let Kenny Smith shoot that because he's feeling it, and he's a good 3-point shooter, but there was so little time off the clock there that it gave the Jazz a great possession.
Brian Russell this year started 15 straight games when Benoit was hurt. Drexler backs him in. They couldn't do anything about it.
If he doesn't let him go, he's going to draw the foul, and they're not able to get there on the double team.
I tell you, Drexler has stepped up. He has 15 points in this quarter, 29 for the game. So his partner Olajuwon had to sit down, and Drexler just took it up a notch or 2.
Malone had a shot there. He almost had an offensive foul. He put his right shoulder in, stepped back, didn't get the call, but got the basket.
Karl Malone with 24, and we're going to have a timeout. Rudy T will take a break with 1:03 to go. And Tom Janovich and the defending world champions are thinking Salt Lake City, here we come on Sunday. 95-78. There's Drexler, double team, or he tracks it down. 9 seconds on the shot clock. And Malone bats it away. There'll be 7.
They double teamed Drexler very quickly on the cut. He couldn't get the ball to the cutter, and then Ori kind of lost control. They're going to have a tough time getting a shot here.
5 seconds, 4. Drexler with 3. Ori with 2. Rebound, Jones tips it out. It'll be Utah's basketball. No, they're going to call a foul, loose ball foul. Tom Chambers picked it up. Ron Garrettson calling the loose ball foul on the 35-year veteran.
Charlie Jones and Jackie Brown hustling around the backboard. Got a hand on the ball. Charlie Jones goes to the foul line.
As I mentioned, Jones came into this game tonight. He had never attempted a field goal. He was in there to rebound. He's averaging a little over 2. And he misses that free throw. Adam Keefe will come back in for Utah. And Chambers, who went over the 20,000 mark this year in career points, as did Karl Malone this season for Utah, will sit down. He's contributed. He's come in. He's worked well against Hakeem in the post and has 2 10-point ball games. That ball deflected out, and it's going to go to the Houston Rockets.
You see Chuck Brown run the baseline that time, got a hand on it, forced the action, ends up they get a possession.
43 seconds left in the third. A big third quarter by the Rocket. Kenny Smith, that's a 3. The tornado under the way, that funny spin on the ball. John Crotty on the move. Out to Brian Russell, he'll try the 3. Chucky Brown comes up with it, and a foul on Brian Russell. Now, Chucky Brown's doing some things in this game that you'll go back and you'll look in the box score and you'll say, well, did he really help that much? But he has. Coming up next on TNT, inside the NBA, joining Tim Brando will be Bullets coach Jimmy Lanham. Playoff breakdown segment. We'll take a look at the Indiana-New York series that'll unfold and a musical tribute to round 1 of the playoffs, which end here tonight. This is well, I shouldn't say that. No. They may go to game 5. What do I mean? All the other round 1s have ended. Here we go. 20 seconds left in the third. Clear it out. 2 seconds difference between the shot and the game clock. Crotty out to Brian Russell. He'll try another 3. He's missed 2 in a row. Kenny Smith ahead. 4 seconds. Drexler racing the clock. He got it.
How about changing hands with the basketball, still have the athletic ability to dunk the basketball. They're going to get another shot at it.
And Brown launches one, and what a third quarter for this Houston team. It was a 14-point lead at halftime. They moved it up to 21 with Olajuwon on the bench, 4 minutes of the third quarter.
And they brought him back, which I'm a little bit surprised about. See if he...
He has 4 fouls as he comes in. Malone gets the foul off of Jones, and he'll go to the line. So it's remarkable who has stepped up. It hasn't been just Olajuwon, even though he's had a terrific game. It's been Drexler, who's just kind of took it on himself in the third quarter to keep things right.
Yeah, Olajuwon took over the early parts of the first half, pretty much the first half, and then Drexler comes on when Olajuwon gets in foul trouble and has carried him through to this 21-point lead.
31 points for Drexler. That's his series high. He had a 30-point game earlier as Malone gets a free throw. Malone has been busy at the line. 15 of 18.
Utah's got their key people back in the game. Stockton has 4 fouls. It doesn't make any difference at this point. They're going to play it out and try to make a run right here.
And try to end the series. Houston trying to extend it. Houston came in with a 5-1 record facing elimination. 3-0 last year, you might recall, against the Phoenix Suns in the second round. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 99-79, the Rockets. Olajuwon double team on him. Jones tries to tip over the back. Adam Keith fights for it and finally digs it out of there. John Stockton pulling up with a 3. That's a beginning point right there.
The beginning point, and right now, Houston's got to get concerned. They have a good lead, 17-point lead, but they've got to get into an offensive mode. What they're doing is throwing it in, throwing it out, and nothing's happening when the ball comes back outside.
22 points now for Stockton. They double on Olajuwon from the corner. Mario Ellie, rebound Malone, and you can sense a little uneasiness now here in the Summit. Stockton again, this time not there. The ball goes off. Well, they're going to give it to Houston. Looked like it might have gone off of the Rockets. Houston will get it back. 10:39 left in the game.
They're giving Olajuwon no easy shots. They're playing Drexler very tough. Interestingly enough, they have Keith on Drexler with his size. I'm kind of surprised.
Keith has really been a welcome addition to this team. Been part of that deep bench that Utah has. The Keiths and the Cars that can come off the bench along with Blue Edwards.
I think at this point, though, if he takes him out, like goes to a 1-4 at the top, he can isolate and do anything he wants. I don't know. Someone's going to have to talk about on the bench over there.
Sam Cassell has the ball stripped. Keith and Stockton on the double team ahead to Adam Keith. Keith not able to get it. Olajuwon comes down to the rebound.
Olajuwon doesn't seem to have the same interest that he had earlier.
Well, he could be still having that fatigue factor. Again, the anemia. He's had to fight that. He missed 10 games late in the year as Drexler continues on.
That's Keith can't play him facing. If he wants to take advantage of it, what they did, they put Keith on him to keep him out of the post-up area, but facing, Drexler can have his own way.
How about these two guys? 36 for Olajuwon, 33 for Drexler. Rebound ahead to Ellie. To Drexler. Carr challenged him. He committed a foul, and Drexler just about brought everything down with him. What a tremendous effort by Clyde Drexler. And then it'll all start with Game 1 on Saturday. NBC will be bringing you that action for the Alamo Dome. Here's Hornacek in traffic, deflected out. They'll get it with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Boy, you look ahead now, Chuck, if this does go to a Game 5. And Utah's not been as good a home team this year as they've been in the past.
The other thing it does, it puts a lot of pressure on either club, whoever wins Game 5, and the Jazz will be favored. But going to the next series, fatigue and that extra game makes all the difference.
Well, and Phoenix closed out Portland in 3. They haven't played since Tuesday night.
Now, they're not happy about that because you can lose your edge without playing. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Along with Jones in his face, didn't bother the mailman there, and he has 27. Well, do you think Houston can withstand another little push here by Utah?
Well, we'll watch and see. They're going to keep working. They're going to now use Drexler coming off of Olajuwon.
Hakeem with a tough catch and then able to lay it off the glass. 38 points.
That's the double-edged threat on the same side of the floor.
Hornacek trying to set up Malone inside. Gets it in to Karl. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Stockton will go in. He'll take the 2. This Utah team is a team that will stay with it. They'll keep doing what they do best. That's be efficient in the half-court game and keep trying to somehow climb back in here. Drexler from outside. That's a tray. Rebound is cleared by Malone. You know that Stockton, Hornacek, and Malone will play hard every night, so you've always got a chance. As Antoine Carr hits one from outside. Carr, by the way, a while ago, picked up his 5th foul, so he's playing with 5. 105-88.
There's a lot of time left in this basketball game. All Utah wants to do, they want to get it to 10 or under.
Ellie gets it in to Hakeem. Ellie uses her glass effectively.
Big basket using the glass like that.
Up it comes to Malone inside, and Malone going inside and working hard, and Malone now with 29. His high for the series, 32. And we're going to have a timeout call by the Houston Rockets. 7:27 to go. Cassell out to Drexler. Oh, here's Olajuwon shooting it short. Look at Drexler following up. And we're going to have a jump ball. Antoine Carr stayed with it. And so they're going to jump it up. And Drexler didn't exactly like the call.
Well, he was trying to get a timeout in that situation. He did not get it.
Drexler has 9 rebounds and 5 assists to go with 35 points.
This is an interesting jump ball to see if Drexler can control. Watch Stockton.
Well, he actually tipped it, but it went to Stockton. You called that one all the way. Drexler scrambling around to Ellie.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky and good. And that's as tight as you can get with expression. And that ball rolling around on the floor.
Boy, it shows you, though, the focus this Houston team has. They're just flying around on the floor to pick up the loose balls.
Loose balls will win every time.
Malone, the foul away, overshoots it. Carr inside. He'll be hammered. Now, that would be 5 on Hakeem. So Olajuwon now with his 5th foul with 6:41 left in the ball game.
Not happy about that, I'm sure, on the Houston bench. They cannot be happy. They're signaling he's got 5. Bill Dawson signal, Bill Berry.
And they're going to make a change. Chucky Brown's going to come back into the ball game. Barnett able to get that one. Charles Jones with the rebound. 6:37 left in this game. Houston now looking for a return flight to Salt Lake City for a game 5 if they can hang on here. There's a 6-1 in elimination games, and Drexler kind of putting an exclamation point on this game.
What a move.
He's 12 of 17. He has 37 points. Hornacek from outside. Well, the 2 games that Houston has won, game 2, and if they win this one tonight, they have won them convincingly. And you look back at game 1, it went right down to that pick and roll. Stockton hit it with 2.4 seconds. It looks awfully big now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. You know, I was talking about earlier, Drexler in the basket again. Gets fouled.
Let's go back to the previous play by Clyde Drexler.
You want to see one of the great players in basketball. Watch this move. To get up inside of that and dunk it on the offside of the basket. Not on the front side. Beats the whole club and dunks it on the other side.
Well, Guy Lewis would be proud, wouldn't he? The
Yes,
University
he
of Houston coach, his 2 guys with 5 slamma jamma have done it tonight. Both of them have 38 points.
It's interesting to me what will happen after this game if Houston has in fact made preparation to fly up there tonight or whether they go tomorrow. Probably go tomorrow but the problem is you play Sunday afternoon. It isn't like a night game, but all of those thought processes have to be in your mind.
And look at it this way: Houston will play it I should say, Houston Yale will play it at any time. They don't care if it's at midnight, noon, or whatever it is. They're just glad to be alive.
Happy to be there.
John Stockton with 5:39 left in the ball game. Malone rejected by Jones. Sam Cassell to the trailing Drexler. He left it for Brown. He thought Brown was closer. Brown saves it. Antoine Carr goes into the crowd. He retreats back and gets back, and a foul committed on Chucky Brown by Jeff Hornacek.
Rudy Tomjanovich going with Jones and Brown, who have added significant minutes to this club and really helped their inside play.
So Chucky Brown will go to the line, and Turbo likes what he's seen with 5:17 left in the game. You know, you go back to seeing what Drexler's doing tonight, and it kind of more or less, I think, pushes back all the argument about if that was a good trade or not for Otis Thorpe. They had all kinds of distractions, injuries. They were only 17 and 18 in the regular season. That seems like a distant memory, the way he is playing here tonight.
Yeah, at that time, Rudy Tomjanovich felt they were just whistling in the wind and weren't going anyplace. They decided to make the move, and they got a great player, and they gave up a great player.
And Malone is fouled from behind by Charles Jones. Jones is doing his thing. He's in there. He's working on Malone, committing some fouls. They don't expect a lot of points from Charles Jones. They just want some of that blue-collar stuff inside.
And they're not in the penalty. Didn't hurt a thing.
Both teams now with 3 team fouls. 5 minutes left in the ball game. Benoit, who's been red hot from outside, hits another. David Benoit has 19 points tonight. He's also 3 of 4 behind the line. 113 to 97. Olajuwon getting ready to come in, and what a catch that was. Out it comes to Brown. 4:39 to go. Baseline Drexler. He's hammered. Drexler will go to the line, and here comes Hakeem back in.
Yeah, Rudy Tomjanovich wants to take no chances on these. Once puts an exclamation point on, he'll take his chance on the foul.
Clyde Drexler this year had a high of 41 points. And
He's
approaching that now with 39.
When you talk about hard fouls in the playoffs, there's an example of it. You're not going to get an easy basket in a game of this significance.
114 to 97, 4.5 minutes left. Drexler now has responded with 41, tying his season high. He had a 50-point game before with the Portland Trailblazers. And it comes down to Malone, and what do we got here? Goaltending or a foul? I think a foul before. And so that'll send the Utah Jazz to the line.
Chucky Brown arguing, he said, I'm not fouling him, I was only bodying him. Let's see. Got his body on him pretty good. But Malone goes to the line.
Malone will be shooting his 20th free throw tonight. Well, these two teams met in the Western Conference Finals last year. Houston won it in 5 games. And it's going to go to 5 games here in the first round. It's been a different script every night. Every night has been a different kind of ball game. None have been alike. And right now, this script much to the liking of Rudy T. 115 to 99.
Welcome down. They want to execute, use clock.
Good hustle by Benoit. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Drexler with a 3. Out it comes to Ellie. Ellie will try a long 3 with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Drexler tries to save it. It'll go over to Utah.
They'd like to hit the rim on that play and get that back for a new shot clock.
They have a little trouble now at the clock. Now they've got it set with 4 minutes left. Now they put a second back on. 4:01, the official time. The series is going to go even at 2 as Stockton goes inside. 115 to 101. Okay, Utah hasn't given up though. They are still playing hard.
They're really scrambling defensively, double teaming everything.
Olajuwon gone cold here in the waning minutes of the ball game. Carr to the trailing Benoit, and Drexler fouled it.
And every time you stop this clock, it keeps Utah in the game.
Third, fifth team foul against Houston. They're over the limit.
Houston this year not able to pick up the victories they did last year. Last year they won 58. They dropped off to 47. And interestingly enough, they lost 10 more games at home. The year before, Chuck, they'd been 35-6. This year they were 25-16.
That's the difference. And obviously trades, injuries. Right now,
you were talking about injuries? Look at the difference of a year ago, huh?
Wow. Olajuwon 10, Ori 18, Maxwell 18. That's the difference in your home schedule.
When you won it those 2 years, did you have a lot of injuries?
No, none. When you don't get injuries, when you keep your great players healthy, you got a chance to really go all the way.
115 to 102. Chucky Brown gets it to Drexler. And they'll take a little time off the clock now as they bring it outside to Cassell.
They're struggling against this.
Olajuwon and blocked by Benoit. And we're going to have a jump ball. Olajuwon really has not been able to really fire it back up since he's come back into this game.
Drexler scared in the second half, and Utah's gone to a trap all over the floor. Down court, 1-2-2. Half court, 1-2-2. Watch Stockton on the steal, almost.
Hakeem is 1 of 5 here in the fourth quarter shooting. 115 to 102. They're going to go back to him again. Tried to pass it inside to LA, deflected out, 15 seconds on the shot clock.
This trap is really bothering the Houston Rockets. They can't get past it through, and the Jazz are really scrambling. You're right, they haven't given up. 3:07 to go, they're hanging around.
Houston now has not scored a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes, and there's a foul as Olajuwon will go to the line, and Carr, if that's on Antoine, it'll be 6th. And he is fouled out of the ball game. So Adam Keefe will come in and replace Carr. Carr in the ball game with a total of 8 points. Only 1 rebound, but again, how many rebounds can you have the way this team has been shooting? Now, they have cooled off, Chuck. They're only shooting 58% now, Houston.
Yeah, you always come back to some kind of decent percentage. By decent, I mean more normal. You're not going to shoot 60, 70%. That's a rarity. Antoine Carr gave him very significant minutes on the box tonight. And I think Jerry Sloan now will go back. We talked to Jerry today, and he was talking about the team that loses makes the changes, and you never know what to expect. And now Jerry Sloan, they're going to sit and look at this film. They're going to talk about this game. They'll make some adjustments, and I don't think they'll allow Olajuwon to get off like he did tonight on Sunday afternoon.
Well, you know, and they let Kenny Smith get off on game 2. That's been the difference in the 2 wins is how Houston started out of the gate. Chucky Brown brings it down. Well, they always talk about the playoffs being adjustments. But this has been a hard series to figure. 2:47 left to go. Jerry Sloan facing a game 5.
And 2 separate halves. They were able to pick it up for each other, and that's what makes a great basketball team and a chance to win on the road.
Well, we've just been told only twice in playoff history of 2 teammates had 40-plus point games. That was Jerry West, Elgin Baylor in 62, Olajuwon and Sleepy Floyd in 87, and we're almost going to have a number 3. We have already Drexler with 41 and Hakeem with 39. It's hard to believe it wouldn't have happened more often. I would have expected that to have happened on several occasions. Chucky Brown
gets the second, misses the first.
Chucky Brown with 5 points in the game. 2:43 left in game 4. Stockton to the hole, and bodies everywhere. A loose ball foul. It's going to be, I think, on Karl Malone. No, they're going to call it on Stockton.
It looked like Malone came over the top, and Olajuwon
kind of
rubbing his shoulder a little
yeah.
bit. He got banged pretty hard on that one.
So they call it on Stockton. Now Olajuwon has a chance to go to 40 points.
Anytime you've got two guys like Olajuwon and Drexler, and there are not that many in the league that can get 40 points in a playoff game, you've got a shot to win a series.
Look at this tonight.
Wow.
You just have to sit back and say, well, Utah, you ran into a buzzsaw here tonight. Malone's going to leave. Benoit's going to leave. Jerry Sloan's saying, okay, guys, rest up for Sunday.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do, and I think that Rudy's going to have to respond in kind here with Olajuwon and Drexler.
Well, Malone had big numbers tonight, 31 points, 17 of 21 from the free throw line. There's 40 points, so for the third time now in playoff history, two teammates, 40-plus points. And interestingly enough, those other two we're talking about, Baylor and West and Olajuwon and Floyd, they lost those games. And that's over the end line. It'll go to the Rockets.
Clyde trying to get the basket, got there, couldn't finish.
Well, we've talked about a different script. If you're Jerry Sloan going into Game 5, Chuck, what's the psychology?
Well, Jerry's, you got to go with the people, and I think they'll feel very confident at home. They won't panic. Jerry's a very calm guy. They'll just do the things that they've done all year and hope that, and they want their crowd to get in it. I think it's important that the crowd here in Houston was a factor tonight.
Yeah, Sam Cassell hit that. There have been some criticism of the crowd by the Houston team, but tonight they've been there at a good pitch. So then let's take it on the other side. If you're Rudy T, how do you approach Game 5?
Well, you've got to go the same way. You've got to, well, first of all, you've got to find out what they're going to do defensively, how they're going to play. First time down the floor when you throw up Olajuwon, you've got to find out what they're doing. You also got to find out what they're doing to pick and roll, and you got to go to Drexler and Olajuwon on the same side of the floor to find out how they're going to play those two people.
121 to 104. A minute and a half to go. John Tobic is checked into the ball game. He's 55, a 7-footer from Croatia. Chucky Brown from the corner. Tobic tried to go up, and he was just kind of hemmed in. Off it comes to Crotty. To the trailing Russell and Blue Edwards from the corner. Theodore Edwards. And they'll go out of bounds. The crowd applauding as the Rockets make some final substitutions. A minute away from staving off elimination. They'll go to 6-1 in elimination games after going 3-0 a year ago. 6-1 through the past two seasons. No look pass with 3 seconds. Brown to the hole. Chucky Brown is building some confidence in this game.
It'll be interesting to see if Rudy has the same courage to go back to those guys. And that's going to take some tough decision-making on his part to go back to them in a big game on an opponent's floor.
123 points. They threw 140 points at Utah in Game 2 and won that one. This has been an impressive performance. I guess what you find out, Chuck, when you coach guys, you really see little telltale signs. You see things that really show you the character of a team.
I think this is a talented club. They haven't been quite together this year, but they did what they had to do at home. It would be very interesting to see how they handle it on the road.
Chambers with a slam, and we're going to wind it down. It'll be a Game 5. It'll be on NBC on Sunday as the Rockets are still alive. The defending world champions are still in the hunt as they win it here, 123 to 106.